Good morning, people. I think this is episode 8 of 8th of the daily workshop stuff. It's not daily, but assuming you have some progress. A sneak peek of Steve's car. So you can see it before you actually see the video. I like it. This is very industrial, but it works, and we've proven it works. He proven it works with the abomination of the engine we had on Andrew's car. But yeah, I like it. I like the front bumper, I like the opening, I like the massive church cooler, the huge tires, that they're almost sticking up, but not really. You know, with the Toyota covers, trying to keep it all sneaky and all standard and, you know, as stealthy as is possible. But yeah, it looks good. I like it. Because, you know, Steve, the way he works, he doesn't care if stuff looks good. He wants the stuff to work, and that's all he needs. But sometimes, when you're making stuff to make it work, it just looks badass. And this really is. It doesn't have to be clean, doesn't have to be tidy. It just has to be fast and stealthy. And it is. Good morning. Anyways, back to us and the progress. I think we have the funnel induction pipe, which I've changed the shape a little. I don't know if you remember the air filter used to be there, but that created a little bit of a problem with the vent, because once you put the plastic vent, sorry, I got one hand, so this works there. Once you put the vent there, that black piece of plastic didn't fit, and then you know, the air filter was right behind there, which I was okay with that was fine. But the problem is, when it rains, I was a little bit concerned about the water. It should be fine, but then if you wash the car and if it rains very badly, the part of the air filter could get wet. And I said, okay, if there's a way to reduce that, I can. Now from the vents, all you can see is just this part of the air filter, and that's it. So the water will have very minimum or none effect of the air filter at all. Still goes around the fuel cap nicely. The plug for the MAF sensor actually fits better because it's facing the engine bay perfectly. Obviously clamps, they have to go here, all the stuff, and all the rest stays as it is, as we had it before. So that's one done. Yeah, and I go straight to the turbo. You can see it there. There you go. You know, very simple setup. Oh, and these are already made in aluminium. This is what you get if you order one, because obviously before they were made in plastic, like this stuff. That was a prototype, worked good, so we made them in alloy. This is the first one. The latch should be here, this one. So unfortunately, if you want to retain the original latch, this will have to be bolted there. But the problem is, because it's not flat with the bolts, there will have to be a massive hole there to keep it all inside, including that. Now Andrew make a different decision. He said, I don't want that, I want the bonnet pins. So it's just gonna be like raised bonnet pins, like on my CV, I'm gonna show you in a minute. We've done the exit as well. He said, I'm okay with the bumper being cut off, so that's in, and it's all aluminium. Also this thing, let me just close it, because there's nothing here. If it rains or if you wash the car, no worries, because all the water is collected. You see, it doesn't go on top of the engine, it just goes down there, as you can see here. So that's good. Now we have, I think we have about 6 of them ordered. Now I have to check with Steve. I think it's 6 of them ordered. I have to make sure. Yesterday, the new air filter is supposed to arrive. They didn't. I'm hoping they arrive today, because they have a slightly different shape. That one is completely oval. It's perfect for the application, but KN, I think they stopped producing those air filters. So we couldn't find it. We found one that is very similar size, but slightly different shape. So I need to make sure that one fits, and then if I have to adjust any shape of the pipes, if I have to, then I will remake them again, and then we go into production. And 6 of them I can make them probably today or tomorrow, but again I have to wait for these air filters. Now there's a funny thing with that story, because one of our customers who ordered the whole kit some time ago, well, not recently, we had the old version with the air filter bay inside the engine bay, but then we found out that doesn't really work. I mean, it works, but not the way we wanted. We weren't completely happy with that, so from now on we're going with this version. This is way more expensive because, you know, there's more silicone joiners, there's more aluminium, there's aluminium bends, there's much more material to build them, you know, apart obviously more work. So they are quite more expensive, but they do a much better job. You know, even if they twice the money, they do 10 times better job, so it's still worth it. And they could be used for any engine swap. You know, NA, K20, you know, whatever you put in there is good to bring fresh air to the engine. But back to us, the customer that ordered the stuff from us some time ago, he's got pretty much everything. He's missing that, and again, he's the one of the first to receive that called air duction kit. As soon as I got the air filter coming down, but because he paid for everything already, he's a lucky bugger because he's gonna have, you know, the new version at the same price the old one was, and the money the old one was costing, it doesn't even cover half of the expenses of what we have with the new one. So we are completely losing money on that one, but it doesn't matter, to be honest. This is, you know, I take responsibility on myself, and you know, this is the new version. I want everyone to have the best performance as possible. Who cares? I mean, I'm not really losing money in that particular thing, but you know, this is business. Customers have to be happy, so he's receiving the upgraded version for no extra cost. That one is pretty much finished. Again, I'm waiting for this air filter, and then it's done. But also, I have to send him the latest version, the final version of the charge cooler mode. As you can see, this one here is made in steel, because again, this is the one I make for myself as a jig, as a template, and I had steel plates, I had steel materials, because I need a lower profile, and see how it goes. However, I really liked that being aluminium. The only problem is when I was making the prototype, the aluminium I had, it was very thick, and it took too much space and didn't give enough clearance between the charge cooler and the body. So I used steel. But steel is fine, it looks good, everything is fine, but I still wasn't convinced. I would really like to make them in aluminium. So we ordered loads of aluminium material to build that, and yes, I'm gonna make them in alloy, different thickness, just everything is spot on. So I'm gonna make, I think we have 4 of those to go out the door as soon as possible, order it. So 4 plus this one. So it's going to be a long day today, making these induction kits, if the air filter arrives. And then today today is the only day I can actually take the bike and work on my bike today. I don't have to walk on the bike, I have to change a couple of things. I have to fit a couple of things, I have to make sure everything is right, she's ready for race, because the race is on Saturday, but I'm leaving on Friday because I have to be there at night or afternoon before, because the race starts early in the morning. Scrutineering, I think, is 8 o'clock or 8:30. I'm not gonna wake up 4 o'clock in the morning from my house and, you know, drive there, get a bit tired and everything is rushed. No, I'm gonna be there on Friday. But today is the only day I can actually check it out, so it's gonna be a long day. A lot of work in the workshop. We're gonna finish late and then work on a bike and then go home, because yeah. Sometimes it is like this, sometimes it's lazy, you know, I leave here early, sometimes late. It's not up to you to decide, the job decides how long you stay in a workshop sometimes. But yeah, in overall, everything is going good, and I think we need to finish to tidy up, because we did 80% and then we stopped just before everything is actually tidy. So give it a couple of weeks, because we have way too many orders to send out the door, satisfy customers, and send the stuff out. So I have to really pull my finger out, but it's not up to me. I really have to wait for the materials. Now the aluminium pipe, 3-inch aluminium pipe, just arrived yesterday, 6 meters. We had aluminium sheets for those shrouds and all the stuff. But like I said again, to be honest, I won't be surprised if I'm gonna see 9 of 10 customers, or 8 of 10, 9, 90% of customers actually ordering the charge cooler kit instead of the intercooler. They both works. I mean, wow, we're really happy with the intercooler now, but the simplicity of the charge cooler and the stealth, because nothing, you can't see nothing from the outside. You can leave the bumper standard, you know, the lid standard, everything standard. So it could just look like an ordinary MR2, just, you know, 10 times more powerful. Maybe not 10 times, but twice, 3 times more powerful. It's a good option to have all stealthy. And I like the fact with the battery to be on the top, you know, because this is one thing that, I don't know if I showed you or not, but these could be here. Because even for this customer, that one there, he ordered the battery kind of retaining or tray. So I'm gonna wear a couple of tabs here and angles to keep the battery here. I don't know if I'm gonna keep it there if with the zip ties because it's a race car, or I don't know. I have to make something up. I didn't work on that yet. I'm gonna sort it out between today and tomorrow. But even that is sorted. This pipe here goes behind the charge cooler. So whenever, it is obviously part of the kit, when everything arrives to you, just put your map sensor right there, just bolts on. So everything is in the right position, everything is sorted out, there's no fucking about, to be honest. It's just all done and all included. So yeah, that's it. I'll see you, well, tomorrow, I guess. Of progress, so yeah, why not?